Welcome back to Namaste Node.js Season 2 and we are building Dev Tinder. In this video, we are going to talk about the most important API, that is the feed API. Whenever the user logs in, so he sees different kind of cards, right? So he sees the data of other users onto the application, and then he can connect or reject those people. So this API will bring the data of the other users. So this is the most important API. This is the feed API. Okay, and it will get me the data of users, and then I can left or right swipe accordingly on the UI. Okay, so this API, let us just start building about it, right? This API looks very easy to build, but then when you will get into the complexity of building it, it will be a little tough, right? So if you can try it out yourself, then pause the video and try out yourself, try to build the feed API yourself. And then if you can't, if you need some help, or if you have already built it, then come back and watch my solution and see if I am doing it correctly. See, let me tell you, my dear friends, this feed API can be very complex, right? But we will try to keep it as simple as possible and as functional as possible. Okay, so we will not do a lot of advanced techniques of matching users and then showing the feed according to a lot of random things. No, we will be building this API, basic API, right? And let us just start building it. You can have a different way of building this feed API. I can have a different way of building this feed API. Nobody is right or wrong. It all depends on what kind of application you are building. Okay, so let's just start now. Okay, we will start building this feed API. So this is again a API inside the user router. Okay, so let us just go to user router and start creating our feed API. Okay, so over here, we have already created the get API of request received, right? The request we have got, and also we have created an API for getting the connections. Now we will build the most important, as I said, the API, the feed API, router, user router dot get, and then this get is again a /feed API. Okay, now this API will definitely have a user auth, right? User should be logged in. Otherwise, if the user is not logged in, we won't show any profile to the users. Okay, so now let us create an async function for handling this request. So req, res response object, and then we have this API over here. Now we will write the try catch block as the first statement, right? Let's write try catch block. We have the error over here. Cool. And now in the error, I can just add the status, right? We can add the status 400 and we can just send a message out there, and I can send the JSON, and in that JSON, I can send the message of, the error message. Okay, error dot message. Before writing any piece of code, I would first of all want to think about how we will come up to a solution and find users who should be visible in our feed. Okay, suppose if in our platform, right now, if you go and check our platform and you check the users, we have 6 users out here, right? We have Akshay, we have Elon, we have Mark, we have Virat, we have Dhoni, right? We have 6 users over here. Now, suppose if we want to build the feed of Akshay, right? If we want to build the feed of Akshay, what should we show Akshay, right? What users should I show Akshay, right? So Akshay should see the users, right? Let us just think about it. This is a thought exercise, okay? Akshay should see users, the card of users. Akshay should see card of everybody whom Akshay has not sent request to. Right? Suppose if Akshay has already sent request to Elon Musk, right? Then Akshay should not see again the card of Elon, right? There is no point in showing the card of people whom Akshay has already marked interested. Suppose if Akshay has ignored somebody's profile. Suppose if Akshay has ignored Virat Kohli's profile, right? So now, should Akshay see Virat Kohli again on the feed? No. The people who has been maybe went into interested, right? Maybe if you have sent the connection request to them or you have ignored their profile, you should not again see in your feed. Okay, this is the thing. Akshay should also not see Akshay should not see the users who are, who are the connections already. Suppose Akshay is already connected to Elon. So if they are already friends, why would you show the card of the connections again in the feed, right? There is no point in seeing it, right? And then there is third more condition that, okay, Akshay should not see his card himself, right? Suppose if you are fetching all the users, there are 6 users on the platform, Akshay should not see his card himself, right? So you have to build a query like that, right? You have to write the logic in such a way that you have to exclude all such people whom we do not want in the feed. Okay, so you have to write your query in such a way to calculate this feed. Now, this logic is a little complex to write, so you will have to pay a lot of attention when I'm writing any piece of code. Okay, but first of all, before even writing code, you should just do a thought exercise. Pause this video right now and try to develop an algorithm. Try to think, what should I write over here to find such people out? Okay, this is a very good, interesting problem to solve, and this can be an interview question also. Okay, so this can be an interview question also, and I have asked this question to a lot of people in interviews. Let me tell you, it was a very good brainstorming session in the interview, right? A lot of people have different approaches to solve the same problem, but I want to see how you will solve your problem. Okay, so that is an interesting thing. And once you have done that thought exercise, come back and watch my solution. You might get a lot of interesting ideas out of it. Okay, so first of all, if I have to define the problem statement. So see, I should see all the card. The user should see all the card in the database, right? All the users card in the database, but user should avoid certain cards. Okay, what card should users not see? Right? The first thing over there is user should not see his own card, right? User should not see. Okay, basically, user should see all the user cards, right? Other user cards except his own card. He should not see his own card. When I say card, that means that left or right swipe card that you see, right, on the UI. Okay, that is the card I'm talking about. Or you can also call this as profile. Which profile should be shown? He should not see card of his own. He should not see card of his connections, right? His connections who have already accepted their connection request, or you are already connected to someone. If you are already a friend of someone, then you should not see the card again, right? There is no point in sending the connection request again, right? And then the second thing is, the user should not see the card of people who have already ignored the profile, right? Ignored people, right? So suppose if I have ignored somebody, right, then I should not see. Or if I have already sent the connection request, already sent the connection request to. Suppose if I have sent connection request to someone already, right? So I should not see all the card. So if I have to explain you briefly, let me just take an example also, right? So why I am doing a lot of theory is because it will make your life very easy. Okay, it will make your life very easy. Suppose if there are 5 users onto the platform, Akshay, Elon, okay, and there is Mark, and then there is Donald, right? Donald, and there is MS Dhoni, and then there is Virat. Okay, so there are so many users onto the platform. Suppose Elon, so suppose there is a new user who is registering. Okay, so there is a new user, and let's say that user is Rahul. Okay, suppose that user is Rahul. Rahul is a new user. Okay, this is a new user. Now Rahul comes onto the platform. So what feed should Rahul see? So Rahul should see in his feed everyone except for Rahul himself, right? Initially. So I am just telling you so that you understand the problem statement. So if the Rahul is a new platform, so he should see all the profile, right? All the profile in the feed, right? All the 6 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the 6 people should be shown in the profile if the Rahul has recently came onto the platform, right? Now suppose if Rahul has sent the connection request to Akshay, right? Rahul have sent the connection request to Akshay. Cool. So now what should Rahul see in the feed? Rahul should see everyone except the connection request whom he has sent. Suppose he have sent connection request to Elon also, right? Suppose Rahul sent connection request to Elon also. Now he should see on his feed Mark, and then Mark Zuckerberg, Donald, MS Dhoni, and Virat, right? Now suppose Rahul Akshay has rejected, right? Rejected the request. Akshay has rejected the request. Should should Akshay be shown again? No, Akshay will not be shown again on Rahul's profile, right? And then suppose if Elon has accepted the request, right? Suppose if Elon has accepted the request. So should Rahul see Elon back in the profile, right? Back in the feed? No. So what I'm trying to say, if the entry has already been created in connection request collection, right? Suppose if there is an entry of Rahul and Akshay in connection request, so they should not see the profile of each other onto their feed. Okay, this is a little tricky to explain, but this is how it is. Okay, so Rahul will see these four people, and Elon and Akshay will not be seen, right? Let us just take the same scenario and let us also find out what will now Elon see in his feed, right? Suppose if what will Elon see in his feed? So Elon will see everyone else, but Elon will not see Rahul because Elon already has Rahul as the connection. Got it? And Akshay's feed, right? What will Akshay's feed look like? Akshay will see all the other people, but not Rahul, because Rahul has already rejected Akshay. Got it? So what I am trying to say is, you will only see people whose card you have never seen on the feed, and accept your card also, okay? And you should not see your card also. So this is the explanation. I hope you would have understood it. If you did not understand, don't you worry. Just pause a moment and think about this algorithm. You would understand it, right? And let me also write the code, and then we will see that, okay, if everything makes sense to you or not. Okay, so this is the major crux that we have to handle. Okay, so let us just try to write some code now. First of all, let me find out who is the logged in user, because the logged in user is very important over here. How will I find the logged in user? It is already added to my request.user, right? Because of user auth. So my logged in user is request.user. Okay, so now my logged in user is my request.user. What will I do now is, I will now, first of all, find out the connection request, right? Connection request. Right, I will find out all the connection requests that either I have sent or either I have received. Okay, I will find out all the connection requests. The first thing I will do, I will find all connection requests that either I have sent, connection request that I have sent or received, right? Both sent plus received. Why I am doing so? Because if I have sent a request to somebody, so I should not see that on the feed. And if I have received somebody's request, then I should not see them also in the feed. Okay, so that is how I will build it. So let us just find out all the basically I'm trying to find all the people whom I have sent the connection request or I have received connection request from them. Okay, so how will I find that? So it is easy, right? Or it is easy, it is not easy. We will see it very soon. So I will find all the connection requests that either I have sent or either I have received, right? Connection requests, QUEST, right? I will send the connection request and I will do a find over here, and I will now check either I have sent or either I have received. So I will have to write a OR query, right? OR query, and then I will have an array, and in this array I will write, so either I have sent. So how do you know if you have sent? So basically from user ID should be logged in user dot underscore ID, right? This is how you will do. And then I will also check for the users. It should not be in to user ID. right? The second condition over here, the first condition should be this. The second condition should be to user ID is not logged in user dot underscore ID. Okay, so I will find all the connection request where either I have sent or either I have received. Now what I will do is, let me just show it to you. Okay, let me just show it to you, the demo, right? First of all, let me just do a response.send, and then over here, let me just send the connection request. Okay, so I will go slow, don't you worry. So I am trying to find out all the connection request that either I have sent or either I have received. Got it? So response.send connection request. So if I will go, this is the feed of Akshay. Is it the feed of Akshay? Okay. So let us go and let me call the feed API. So this is the old feed API, right? So I don't have to worry about it. Okay. So I am just getting one connection request that I have sent to Elon, and Elon has accepted this connection request. Okay. Now, when we have got this connection request, what I will do is, now I will try to, first of all, I don't need all that random data, right? I don't care about created ad status, updated ad, created ad status, ID, right? I don't care about any other field. What I just want to select is, so basically see, there is a select function and you can find what all data do you need from this data. Okay, so select is exactly like how we did, right, to filter out the request. So I just need my from user ID and to user ID. That's it. I just need my from user ID and to user ID, nothing much. Okay, so basically see, I am the logged in user. The logged in user is Akshay, right? Okay, the logged in user is Trump right now, is it? Who is the logged in user? Let me go to profile view. Yep. So Donald Trump is logged in. And if I go to feed, right, I am getting the connection request data over here, right? So basically Donald Trump has sent one connection request to Elon, right? That is the state. Okay. Now, so you know what? The IDs over here, see, these IDs are looking very complicated, right? Over here, the IDs look very complicated. Okay, first of all, the IDs, okay, there should not be comma over here. If you will write comma, you will not find for user ID over here, right? So let me just save it. Let me just send it. Okay, so I have got this from user ID and to user ID. Okay, now these IDs look very ugly over here. So let me first of all, to demonstrate you, just to show you the logic what I am doing, let me just show you what I am doing. Okay, so now let me just populate for now. So you don't need populate, but then I am just populating it, right? Populating the first name and last name, right? First name, right? Populate the from user ID, and the first name over here, first name. And then let me also populate the to user ID. This is just for demonstration purpose. I am teaching you. That is why I am showing it to you that what actually I am doing. Okay, so from user ID and then again the first name of the from user ID. Don't worry, I will explain you the code once again if you don't understand it, right? I will explain you the code once again. Don't worry anything about it, right? So let me just save it up. I just want to show you what I am trying to do, right? If I send it, so see, now you see this. So Donald Trump has got one connection request, right? Donald Trump and Elon, right? Donald Trump and Elon. So Donald Trump has sent the connection request to Elon. This is what is the connection request. Now let me also find out. Let me send connection request to one more person. Okay. Suppose then Donald Trump sent connection request to Akshay. Okay. So Donald Trump is sending connection request to Akshay. How will I send? Send connection request interested to Akshay. Okay, Donald Trump is interested in Akshay. If you will go to feed, if you will search, you will see one more request over here, Donald and Akshay. Got it? And suppose, Donald Trump also receives a connection request, and let us also add it, right? Because I want to make it a complicated example, right? Virat, okay? Suppose Virat sends let us just log into Virat, right? Let us just log into Virat, and now Virat will send the connection request to Donald. Okay. So am I logged in? Yes, this is Virat Kohli's profile. Let me just send the connection request to Donald Trump now. Where is my Trump? Here is the Trump, right? Trump. So Virat is interested in Donald. Okay. So now we have got this connection request. Let us log out. Let me log out and log into Trump once again. And now let us just see the scenario, right? So we have made a complicated example because see, I want to exactly show you how we will do this. It is complicated. Trust me, it is not that easy. Okay. So if I go back to my feed, if I hit, so now I will see 3 friend requests. One request Donald has sent to Elon, the other request Donald has sent to Akshay, and the other request Virat has sent to Donald. Now, think about, I have to generate the feed of Donald Trump. So, what I am trying to say is, Donald cannot see Donald should not see Elon in the profile, right? Donald should not see Elon in the feed. Why? Because Donald has already sent a connection request to them. Donald should also not see Akshay, and Donald should also not see Virat. So, all the people whom you have sent or all the people whom you have received, right, connection request from, you should not see them in the feed, right? So Donald Trump should not see Akshay, should not see Virat, should not see Elon. Okay, so that is how it should be. Let me remove populate. I just wanted to add populate to show you the name. But now what I am doing is, let me just go back and send and show it to you. So now these are the people whom I don't want in my feed. These are the people whom I don't want in my feed. Makes sense, right? So these are the people. So how will I segregate these people? Okay. So what will I do? I will basically block these users, right? Block users, right? So blocked users, basically blocked users from feed, right? Blocked users from feed, right? These are the users who are blocked from feed, or maybe let's not call them blocked. That sounds very bad. Let's say hide users from feed. Which are the users? How will I find these hide users from feed? So basically, these are all the users. I will have to find these unique users. So what I will do is, I will create a data structure which is known as set. Okay. I will create a data structure which is known as set. Now, what is this set data structure? Set data structure is like an array. So suppose if you are passing A inside this set data structure array, right? Suppose if there is A, if you are passing A inside this data structure, right? So it will add A. If you are adding B, it will add B. If you are adding F, it will add F. If you are adding Z, it will add Z. If you are adding S, it will add S. But suppose if you try to add a repeated value, suppose if you are trying to add A inside it, so the A will not add inside it because it is already present. So this is the data structure. It will always, whatever you push inside it, it will always contain unique elements. And if you are sending the repeated values, it will just ignore it. This is the set data structure. Read more about it on the internet. If you can't, then just rewind the video and listen to me what I just said. Okay. So it will contain, it is kind of like an array, but if you keep pushing in data into the array, it will not store any duplicate. It will have all the unique entries. And if you try to push anything duplicate, it will skip it. Okay. So now what will I do? I have created a set. Now what will I do? I will just loop through all these connection requests. So how do you loop through all these connection requests? You do connection request dot for each connection request, or let me say for each request, right? For each request, what will I do? I will just add, right? For each of these requests, I will try to push my from user ID and to user ID into this set, right? So how will I do? I will just do hide users from feed, and I will add the request dot from user ID, right? Not comma. I will add from user ID. And what I will do, I will also add my to user ID. Got it? So I will add both of them. So what will this be, right? And if I will do this, right? if I will do this, let me just show it to you. How will this look now? So basically, you know, hide users from feed. Cool. And then this is my set. If I hit send, so now, okay, it is tough to see, right? The first thing is I don't need these object IDs. I need to convert them to toString. Okay. So what I will do, I will add toString. Cool. I will add toString. Okay. So now, if I will send it, right? It says to string. Sorry. toString. Okay. And now if I send it, so what you will see, in my set, I have 4 people now. In my set, I have 4 people now. What are these 4 people? Tell me. Who are these 4 people? These 4 people are the people whom I want to hide from my feed. These 4 people are the people whom I want to hide from my feed. Got it? Do you understand this? If you understand this much code, everything will be very easy, right? Everything will be very easy. Let me just remove it. Let me just take a pause and let me explain everything once again. Okay. Everything once again. So see, everything once again, just open your ears because I know this is tough for me also to explain, right? What I am trying to do, see, this is the Donald Trump's feed, right? Connection request basically. I am first of all trying to find out all the connection requests which Donald Trump has received or which Donald Trump has sent. Okay, Donald Trump has received or Donald Trump has sent. Because I want to find out all the users whom I don't want to show in the feed. Suppose if somebody has sent request to Donald Trump, I should not show them in the feed. If Donald Trump has sent some request to somebody, I should not show them to the feed, right? Suppose if Donald Trump has sent request to Akshay, so Akshay should not see the feed of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump should not see Akshay. And if Virat has sent the request to Donald Trump, and so Donald Trump should not see Virat on the feed also, right? So basically I want to block all of them. I want to hide these users. So I want to hide, but over here, see, there are 6 IDs. 1, 2, every connection request has 2 IDs. So what I want to do, I want to find out all the unique people over here. To find unique people, I will create a set and push all of them in a set. So I will get a list of all the people whose profile I don't have to send. Now, once I have known the users whom I want to hide from the feed, our job becomes very easy. It will be very easy to write a query to find out the users, right? To find out the remaining users, I will just find the users, right? And over here, I will write a reverse query kind of a thing, right? Just see very carefully. I will do user, and in the user, I will do, user, okay, user, and I will just do tab user dot, and then I will do a find, and inside the users, now just, now you will have to carefully see what I am writing, okay? In the find, I will say find all the users with the ID, and the ID should not be present in, right? This is the, I will explain you, don't worry, right? Not be present in array from hide users feed, right? And this, okay? So now just look at this once, okay? Just see what I am doing over here. See, this much you understood, right? I have found all the connection request of the logged in user where the logged in user was either sent or either received, right? Now I have found all the users whom I want to hide from the profile. I don't want to see all of them in the feed, okay? I don't want to see all of them in the feed, right? So I have written this logic. I have got these users. Now I just have to find, I am just making a DB call now. I am making a database call. Now I am finding all the people, right? All the users whose ID is not present in my hide user array, right? all the people in my database except for these four, right? And who are these four peoples? Donald Trump, Virat, Elon, and who else, right? There was, okay, Donald Trump, Elon, Virat, and I think Akshay, right? Akshay. Okay, so Donald Trump, Elon, Virat, Akshay, we need to hide them. So I will find all the other users which are not, whose ID is not in this array. Okay, whose ID is not in this array. So basically, see, this is a set. So this is the function to like convert a set into an array. Got it? So this is how everything is. Now this you have understood. Now let me tell you one more scenario that, okay, I don't want all the people who are there in my hide users feed, right? This set. I also don't want my own card to be there, right? So I will have to write a AND query over here, right? So this is just one condition, but I will have to write a $AND query, right? And I will have to write an array. And this array will contain two conditions. Let me just write it down, then you will be able to understand it properly, okay? Then you will understand it properly. Okay, so this is my first condition, and there will be a second condition, right? Where I will say underscore ID should not be equal to, right? Should not be equal to, and ID should not be equal to. How do you write not equal to? Hope you have seen it from the documentation. Let me just write it. Cool. Now let me now see this code, right? Now see this code. I am finding all the users who are not in this array and their ID is not equal to the logged in user ID. This $any means not equal to, and this $n in means not in this array. Okay, and this $and means AND query. Okay, so this is an important complicated query. You should know how to write all of it. How you would know, right? If you will go to the documentation, I told you, right? There is logical query. So this is the AND query, right? You can find AND means you are just ensuring both the conditions are true. Okay, and then there will be other queries also. Where is not in query? Where is not in query? Just a minute. Not here, not here, not, yes, array, right? Not in array. Where is not in query? Dollar, not in, not in, not in, not in. Where do you see those error queries? Yep, this is the comparison query. Sorry, yes, that is a comparison query. So see, n in query, this means not in the array, right? Suppose if you want to find, just read about it. You will be, it is very, very easy. Okay. This is like not in. So if I am doing a not in array, so basically if the element is not in array, include it, otherwise don't, right? And if the user ID is not the logged in user ID. Now I have got all the users, right, who are not there with us, right? So this is the data which I have to send back to the user, right? This is the data which I have to send back. And these are the users which will be there in our feed. Okay, so if I send these users back, let us just go and see what all users we will see in the feed of Donald Trump. Okay, so now if I send with my fingers crossed, user is not defined. Okay, so user is not defined. Let me just define the user. User is equals to require model users. Okay, my bad. Cool. So if I refresh it, fingers crossed, now I will see the feed of Donald Trump. Yup. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is there, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is there, and that's all, right? That's all. This is what the feed of Donald Trump should look like, right? Because see, Donald Trump has received the request from, see this, I can also see, right? See, Donald Trump has received the request from whom? Virat Kohli. So Virat Kohli should not be there in the feed. Okay, and then I can see the connections. Okay, if I see connections, Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is already the connection, and Akshay Saini has not yet right? It is in pending state, right? With Akshay Saini. So what I'm saying, Akshay will not be there in the feed. Elon will not be there in the feed. Virat will not be there in the feed. Trump, himself cannot be in the feed. So there are only two people left in the feed of Trump, and these are MS Dhoni and Mark Zuckerberg. Right? So this is what we have to do. Now, if you will see clearly, we have got all the users whom I want to send back to the feed. But there is an important catch that I don't want to send this password and all the other fields. And you already know that how do you avoid sending private data into this thing, right? So what I will do, when I will have user.find, I can just do a select over here. So this select will basically only select the fields that I really want, and I will just select the same fields. Remember, in the last API we were using user saved data. Yes, this is the user saved data. So I will be sending this user saved data back, right? So I will be sending select the user saved data, and if I will save it, right? If I save it and if I go and send, now I will just get the saved data back, right? This is the saved data. Now I have got the feed of Donald Trump. I have got the feed of Donald Trump. Got it? So now I think I have done justice to this API. Just let me think once, right? If I have not missed any case over here, right? So I have this logged in user over here. I have sent the connection. I have found the connection request from user ID and to user ID are right. This is all good. Now I am hiding the users from the feed. I have add a set, and now I have got all the users where the ID is not in the hide user, and then I have written the ID of logged in user. Cool. I think this is good enough algorithm. This will work. Okay. So now it is time for me to test our API, right? Let me remove the console logs, random console logs, right? It is now time to test our feed API. A lot of people might be thinking that, okay, feed API would be very easy, but feed API is one of the most complicated APIs, right? So you don't, right, underestimate the feed API ever. It's the basic thing, right? It's the core thing of the any application. Remember, the name of the API in Tinder itself is core. This is a very important thing, right? Cool. So now, okay, so let us just sign up a new user and let us just try to, experiment with it. Okay. So suppose if I have a new user, let us just sign up a new user and let us see the feed of user, right? How the feed changes accordingly. Okay. So now, let us sign a new user. Let us register Simran onto our platform. Okay. Simran. Okay. I don't know the surname of Simran. Okay. So let's onboard Simran onto our platform. Simran is a developer. Simran @123. Let's add the user. It says user added successfully. Cool. Right? The user added successfully. I have signed up. Now I should log in Simran. Okay. Let me log in Simran. Now I am just testing the API and let us just see if everything is good. Login successful. Cool. So now the login is successful for Simran. Now let us just profile view and see if I am logged in properly. Yes, I am logged in properly. Now let me just go and check the feed. So right now in Simran's feed, I should see 6 other users, right? All the other users except for Simran. Okay. So this is the first test case. Okay. So there is Akshay present here. Elon is present here. Where is it? Sorry, my bad. Akshay is present over here. Can I collapse it? Yes. Akshay is collapsed. Right? Elon is there. Mark Zuckerberg is there. Virat Kohli is there. MS Dhoni is there. And Donald Trump is there. Right? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of the 7 users in the database, right? If you refresh the page, see, out of these 7 users, 6 are there in the feed, and that is very, very expected, right? This was expected, isn't it? We were expecting this. Suppose if Simran is sending the connection request to Akshay, okay? So Akshay's ID is this. Now Simran is sending the connection request, okay? Simran has sent the connection request. This is the send connection request, interested, okay? And Simran has sent the connection request. Simran is interested in Akshay, Okay, so now Simran has sent the connection request. Now if I go on the feed, if I refresh the page, Akshay should not be present in this, right? Akshay is not here. See, Akshay is not here. This is what I wanted. Now suppose Simran has sent a request to Akshay. Akshay is not there in the feed now. Now let us, let suppose Simran ignored somebody's profile. Okay, suppose Simran ignored Elon Musk. Okay, Simran does not like Elon Musk. So let us go back and just say ignored, right? Ignored, and then I would say ignored, and then cool. So Simran is ignored in Elon. Okay, so I don't know, this does not make sense, but then Simran ignored Elon. Okay, so Simran has ignored Elon. Now Elon should also not be there in the feed. Let us send it. Elon is not there. See, Mark, Virat Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and Trump. Right? There are 4 people. Now suppose Akshay and Elon, Simran has already done, rejected, right? Now suppose Virat Kohli sends the request to Simran. Okay, let me just log in to Virat quickly, right? Virat, and then Virat, and then Virat, Virat, and go back, login successful. Let me just go to profile view and check Virat is logged in. Yep. So let us go back. So first of all, in Virat's feed, Simran should be there, right? Let us just verify it. In Virat's feed, yes, see, in Virat's feed, Simran is there right now. But what if Virat sends the connection request to Simran? Okay. So Virat sends the connection request to Simran. Let us not ignore it. Let us say interested. Okay. Interested. Cool. So if I send, Virat is interested in Simran. Okay. So now let us go back to the feed. Now Virat, right now I am logged in to Virat's feed. Now this Simran should not show. Right. Cool. Only Mark Zuckerberg and Mahendra Singh Dhoni. No Simran is here. Now let me just log out and let us log in with Simran again. Right. And now my Simran should not see Virat also. Right. Simran should not see Akshay. Simran should not see Virat. And one more, whose profile Simran ignored? Elon. Right. Elon. Right. Those 3 people should not be there. Login successful. Let's go to the feed, refresh the page, and you will not see Virat, you will not see Akshay, you will not see Elon. All the other 3 users are here. I think my feed API looks really, 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 really great. Okay, so this is what I wanted to make in the feed API. It's a very, when I was writing the logic of this feed API, writing this is easy for me because a lot of things goes inside my head which I can't explain you, right? The process of my thought process. But you should take an inspiration and try to see what I am trying to do, how my thought process is. Explaining this logic is very tough. See, if you will see the line of code, it is not big, right? We have not written a lot of lines of code. But line of code does not matter. The complexity can be in very, 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 very small things. Okay. So complexity can be in very small things. So this is what I want to say, that, okay, just try to see. And I might also be missing some corner cases. I'm not sure about it, but I feel that this API should be good, right? It is good. Cool. Now we have created the feed API. Now, let me tell you one more important thing, right? Let's move on to another portion, right, of the API. Suppose my database has thousands of users, right? Suppose I have 1000 users registered. So I don't want my feed API to send me like 999 records, right? I don't want to get the 999 records for a new user. Suppose a new user joins in, 1000 users, so he will see the profile of all the 999 users, right? No, that should not happen. My API should only return me, we should basically add pagination. API should only return me 10 users at a time. Okay, my API should only return me 10 users at a time, right? So basically we want to build a feature of pagination over here, right? I want to make or add a feature of pagination. I will just show you the feature of pagination right after a short break. I think it has been almost an hour since I am talking, and It's a complicated thing. I want you to take a break at this point of time. Try to implement this logic. Then we will also add one more level of complexity to add a to add a pagination into our API so that we can get 10 users at a time. You saw the Tinder API, right? In the Tinder API, the Tinder API core API just sends 30 users at once, and then they send 30 again, then they send 30 again, and it is very variable, right? I was just checking the Tinder's website. Sometimes they send 28, sometimes they send 29, sometimes they send 30. So that's very weird, but we will be very sure that we will bring 10 users at a time, right? That's how we will work. Got it? So now we will add pagination, but for now, take a break. What you will have to do is, let me just give you a quick homework. So the homework is not much. You have to write the logic, right? Logic for get slash feed API, right? This is the most important logic. And then also explore the conditions, right? Explore dot not in, right? In this API we use complicated stuff, right? I told you that whenever a feature we are developing and suppose if there is some complicated thing comes across, then I will show you how to use all of these things, right? So just go and read more about all of these things, right? Not equal to, right? Basically not in, not and, not equal to, and others, right? Other methods, right? Not other methods over here, right? Other queries, all of this, right? There is one greater than, equal to. So many things are there, right? Just read other queries, right? Query parameters, or I don't know what they call it as, query parameters. Okay. So comparison query. Okay. These are used to build query. Okay. So operator. So basically we call these as query operators. Okay. Operators. I was forgetting the name. So these are query operators. Okay, so please do this, come back, and we will add pagination into our API. Okay, so that's all. Welcome back, my dear friends. Hope you have built your feed API. Now we are going to add pagination to this API. And let me tell you before even starting that pagination is not a very, very big concept in MongoDB. MongoDB makes our life very, 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 very easy, right? When you will explore this, you will get to know that, okay, pagination is easy to do, right? So let me first of all tell you some theory of pagination, and then we will start to add the pagination into our application. Okay, let us add the theory of pagination, right? Pagination. Okay, we are talking about pagination. Now, first of all, let us talk about the contract. So suppose we have the feed API. Now in the feed API, generally you would have seen, okay, a very good standard practice is to use query params, right? In the get API, you can add query params. So in the query params, I can say page equal to 1, right? So this will get me the first page and limit equal to 10. Okay, so that means I want my first 10 users, right? So this is the page 1, limit equals to 10. Okay, so page 1 limit 10, this gives me first 10 users, and first 10 users basically means users from 1 to 10, right? These are the users I want. Now suppose if the feed is page number 2 and limit is equals to 10, right? So how will I get? I will get users from basically 10 to, or maybe 11 to 20, right? These are the users I will get. Okay, now let us just replicate this for third page, right? So why I'm writing this, you will understand, right? Page number 3, limit 10. So I want my users from 21 to 30. So you understood this, right? So this is how things will work. If my page number 1 and limit equal to 10, so I want my users from 1 to 10, right? And then I want 11 to 20, then I want 21 to 30. Okay, so that's how things work. Now, let me just tell you, my dear friends, in MongoDB, you have two functions which are very important functions, and those functions are known as skip and limit, right? Skip, but there is one function skip and there is one function dot limit. Okay, so these functions, see, limit means how many documents do you want? Skip means how many documents do you skip from the first? Skip from the starting. Okay, this is what is a very good convention in MongoDB. It gives you these functions and it is very, very good. We just have to pass right parameters into it and it will give me good results, right? If I will say skip 0 and I will say limit equal to 10, right? If I will say skip 0, limit 10, so it will give me first 10 users. Understand, right? So it is skipping 0 users and it is saying limit 10 users. Now suppose if you want, right, and this will be the query over here, right? So basically if you want to find like this, suppose if you want to find page number 1 limit 10, so basically to MongoDB you will have to pass something like this, right? To MongoDB you will have to pass skip 0 limit 10. Got it? Now suppose if you want page number 2, so what you have to do, you will have to page number 2, so you will have to basically skip the first 10 users and then I want to find the limit 10 means the next 10 users. This is how it works inside Mongo. Suppose if you want page number 3, and so what will you pass to MongoDB? To MongoDB you will pass skip my first 20 users and then limit 10. So it will give me 21 to 10. So what I'm trying to say, humans or the API understand this page number concept, right? And MongoDB understands this skip limit concept, right? So humans, I would basically needing, when the UI will call your API, right? They will call like, I want page number 5. Give me the page number 5. But behind the scenes, you are skipping. What will happen on page number 5? Just think about it. In page number 5, I will be getting users from skipping 40 records and then I will be getting from 41 to 50. That's how my logic will work, isn't it? That's how things work. I will skip 40 records and then get me from 41 to 50. That is my fifth page, isn't it? The first page is 0 to 10, second page is 11 to 21, the third page is 21 to 30, and then the fourth page is 31 to 40, and then the fifth page is 41 to 50, right? So that's how I will calculate. So I have to pass in skip and limit. Now, let me just show you how to use these functions, right? How to use these functions and how to handle all these route query params, okay? So assume that, okay, I can read the query params from this feed, okay? I can read this query params. How do you read this query params? So suppose if I am getting, okay, so I am getting my page number from the params, okay? So request.params.page, okay? This is my page number. Okay, now whenever you will get this request params, this will be inside a string. So I want to convert it into a parse int, right? So I will convert it into an integer. Okay, so whenever it will come like this, right? Suppose if your query is like this, page is equals to 1, right? And limit is equals to 10, right? So basically this number 1 and 10 are in string. So I will have to convert into int, right? First thing you have to do this. Suppose if you don't get this, right? Suppose if you don't get this, right? Then assume, right? I can just do OR of, I can just do OR of 1, right? Assume the page number is 1. Okay. Now what I will do, the second thing is limit. I will again get the limit from this parameters, right? Or, and then I can set the limit to 10. If the user is, these things are optional, right? User might just call this feed. If the user is just calling feed, I will give the first 10 users. If the user want the second page, either he should pass like this, right? Page number 2. So I should give them page number 2 content, right? If the user says page number 2, and now I want 100 records, so he should say limit equal to 100, right? So these are the things which you need to take care of, right? So these are the things you need to take care of. If the limit is not passed, I will assume the limit to be 10. If the page number is not passed, I will assume that the user is requesting the page number 1. Okay, so it's a very easy code. Just try to understand it. Okay, cool. So now over here, when I am finding the users, right? Over here, I am finding all the users, right? I am just finding all the users. So what will I do is I can just chain these two methods and I can just change a skip over here, right? I can just change a skip and I can just change limit, right? So this is how you write skip, limit, and now in the limit, I will pass the limit if it is present, right? This limit is there, I will pass this limit. But in skip, I will have to calculate how to calculate skip, right? So I would need to calculate my skip, right? How do you calculate skip? So basically, if you will go over here, if you will see clearly, skip can be calculated by a formula. So suppose if I am, if I am trying to fetch the page number 3, so basically my skip formula will be, let me write it down, writing the code, right? Code will be easier to explain. Okay, skip formula will be page number -1, right? Because I am doing page number -1 into limit, right? Into limit, right? I think page number 1 -1 into limit, right? These many people I want to skip, is it? So basically, if I am on third page, I want to skip page number 1. So 2 into limit, 2 into 10, 20. So 20 I have to skip, right? So the formula will be something like this, right? Make sense? Does it make sense or not? Does it make sense or not? Tell me. So basically, I am trying to do page number -1 into limit. So will this work? So suppose, see, if I have this as, right, let me just, page number 4. So it will be, so if I am requesting for page number 4, so it will have to skip 4 minus 1, 3 into 10, 30 records, right? I have to skip 30 records and then 31 to 40. So this is how my formula will work. Okay, so this is the formula. These are just the like random notes. You can just say notes over here, rough work, right? This is like my rough work which I am doing over here, right? So that's a bad thing, but no issues, right? I'm just writing it for your reference, okay, in the homework. Now, skip, the formula should be what? Page number into, right? Page number into, no, sorry, page number -1 into limit, right? That's it, right? That's it. That's all you need to do, my dear friend. That's all you need to do. Everything will work now, right? So if I will do this, let us just try it out, okay? For trying this out, let us just create a new user first of all, okay? Let's create a new user. Let's say Rahul, right? Let's say Rahul Dravid. Rahul Dravid, okay? Rahul, and then we have Rahul here, okay? So let us create a new user. I have user added successfully. Let me log in Rahul, right? I have got Rahul. I have got Rahul at the rate 123. Login. So login successful. Got it? Now let me go to view and see the profile. If Rahul Dravid is logged in. Now, if I go and see the feed, if I go and see the feed of Rahul, he will see all the people over here, right? Now I can experiment with my feed API, right? So in the feed API, suppose if I am passing nothing, right? If I am passing nothing, so it was giving me like all the records, right? All the records over here. Let me just try it out, okay? Suppose if I am saying I want to limit just 3 users, limit equals to 3. So will it work? See this, limit equals to, oh my God, it is not working. Limit equals to 3. Did I write it correctly? LIMIT is equals to 3. Did I write it correctly? LIMIT equals to 3, right? It should have worked. Limit equal to 3. So I have still got a lot of users. That means I am doing something bad. Okay, I am saying request.param, sorry, request.query, right? This is what I'm saying. It should have worked. It's a very easy logic, right? I have to take it from the query, not from the params. Request.params means something like this, right? I am not passing it like this, right? I am not passing it like this. This is params, right? This is params and this is query. Okay. So these are query parameters. Send. I have got 3 records. Do you see this? If I send limit equals to 1, right, I will get 1 record. See this? I am sending limit equal to 1 record. Okay. So if I say page is equals to 1 and I don't give limit, so by default the limit is 10, so it will give me all the records. If I say page 1 and I say limit equals to 2, right? Limit equals to 2. Page 1 limit 2. Send, right? Page 1 limit 2, I have got Akshay and Elon, right? These are the 2 people I have got. Now suppose if I say page 2 and limit 2, Akshay and Elon are on page 1, so page 2 limit 2, right? What it has got? Page 2 limit 2. Send. So I have got 2 people again. It is not working as expected for me, right? It should have got the next 2 users. If I do page 3 and limit 2, what will I get? Cool. I am getting the same thing. It is basically not taking the page for some reason. It is not taking the page for some reason, right? Why? Oh, I have not passed in skip over here. Come on. This is what I was thinking. I have not passed in skip over here. So it is always taking skip as 0, right? If you don't pass anything over here, it will take by default skip as 0. And if you don't pass anything inside limit, it will take limit as all the users, right? So this is how things work. Skip is not passed. Now it will work, right? If I am passing in page number 1 and limit 2, Akshay, Saini, Elon. If I pass in page number 2 and limit 2, now I should see the next 2 users, right? This is what is expected. Send. It gives me Mark and Virat, right? If I go to page number 3, it will give me Mahendra Singh and Donald Trump. If I go to page number 4 and limit equal to 2, it will give me Simran. See this? Page number 4 and limit equal to 2. Now only 1 user was left. Still on the page number, it is giving me limit equal to 2. What if I send page number 5, right? What will happen? Now there is a very high possibility that we will break things up, right? Why? Because the page does not exist. We can't skip so many users, right? It is sending me an empty response over here because the page number 5 does not exist. Isn't it? Cool. So now what if I send page number 1 and I send the limit to like something very large, right? Send it. It will give me all the users, right? That makes sense, right? All of this. And if I don't pass anything, send, do this, right? So what I am trying to say is this skip and the limit feature inside MongoDB makes our life very, very easy, right? And, it is up to you. Sometimes, you have to keep the check. Suppose if you have 1 lakh user on your platform. So just make sure somebody does not query like this, right? If somebody says page number 1 and limit is equals to 1 lakh, right? Limit is equals to 1 lakh. Then your query will take forever. And it will be a huge cost on the database. Okay. It will be a very big, tough job for the database. So always sanitize your data, which is coming from the UI, which I told you. So this is what, see, right now we just have 6 users, right? So it takes very fast, right? The DB sends the users very fast. But what if there were a lot of people, 1 lakh people? So we cannot allow the limit to be a lot, right? So what I can do is I can sanitize this limit, right? If my limit is equals to 10, right? I can just say limit is equals to, limit or 10, right? If my limit is, right? Let's first of all make it let, okay? And let's change the limit. So if my limit is equals to, limit is equals to, if my limit is greater than 100, right? If the limit is greater, so basically at a go, I want to restrict the maximum people whom people can fetch, okay? I can just limit it to 5 also, right? 50 people. Just get me 50 people, not more than that. If somebody is querying more than 50, then just set it to limit, right? Set it to 50, right? Or else the limit. Got it? So I can modify it. So always put a let, otherwise it won't let you like modify the constant. So what I am writing, if my limit is greater than 50, so just keep it 50, right? Otherwise limit, right? This is what you can write. And you can also assume page number. So page number is not a big problem, right? The problem is with fetching a lot of data at once. Suppose if you have 1 lakh users and the attacker is trying to, add limit as 1 lakh. So I don't want to send 1 lakh to my database, right? Because it will get the 1 lakh database, 1 lakh users, and that will take it will hang our database servers, right? Our database will be freezed, right? Because it is making such a expensive query, right, to the database. Okay, so this is how you can do it. You can sanitize your data. If you don't write page or something, then if somebody sends some malicious data over here, it does not matter, right? It does not matter. It will not affect you. Like the API will just ignore the random query parameters. But if somebody is sending numbers over here, right, then it is fine. What if somebody sends limit is equals to XYZ, right? It is again not doing anything, right? Because it won't do anything, right? Because it will not be able to parse, right? This limit would be basically parseInt will not work, right? And if it will not work, then it will just resort to these limits. Okay, so this is how things will work, and this is what my feed API looks like. See, many people, and there can be a lot more improvements in our feed API, right? When I say improvements, it's not improvements, it's basically enhancements that we can make in our feed API. Suppose if we have 1 lakh users, so out of those 1 lakh users, suppose if the logged in user has a skill of JavaScript, so I should show them all the people with the similar skills, right? Or maybe I should show the logged in users people of the same age range, of the same gender or the opposite gender, right? We can write the feed in a much more complex way. Okay, so now but our feed API is simple and sweet for now. It works very well. And if you want to make it more complicated, add more complications to it, right? Try to find out the other people with the similar kind of a skill set. You can even add filters over here. Suppose the user wants to see all the users with skills, with a JavaScript as the skill or React as the skill, right? They want to connect with such people. So you can do a lot of enhancement in this API. But for now, I am keeping my API like this because this is a good API. This is a very well working API and I have tested it thoroughly. There might be some issues or corner cases which I might have I might have skipped. But for now, I am finding it good. You can just write your own feed implementation. Your code can be very different than what I have written, right? You can maybe write some other logic, right, to do the same thing. But what I am trying to say, at the end of the day, everything should work. Everything should be efficient, right? This is what it is, right? Because if you are a beginner into backend, if you are a beginner into databases, then these things can be a slightly complicated for you, right, to understand. But don't worry, don't lose hope and keep practicing. Start with building small things, and then later on you will be able to write like complex queries also. If you get stuck in between, just practice a lot, read the documentation and keep coding, right? The more APIs you will make, the better you will have. If you face some issues, just go read out blogs. Ask ChatGPT. Today, ChatGPT is so great that a lot of developers use them to ask a lot of queries about code and everything, right? So take help of ChatGPT, take help of blogs, take help of other people and friends, and keep practicing. This is all I want to say at the last of this. Now, my dear friends, we have created all our APIs, right? All these APIs that we planned, we have created all of them. And I am very, very, very happy with these APIs. Now, what we will do, it has been a lot of time since I have coded any UI, right? It has been so many days. I am just making these videos and I'm just focusing upon this node backend into node.js, into express, into mongo, into mongoose, into this and that, and express router, middlewares, route handlers. I'm just writing a lot of node.js code. Now what we will do from the next episode, we will start building our UI, right? We will build our UI and we will see how our dev Tinder works properly, right? And we will also see, how everything looks great on the UI, right? When we will be building UI, we might find some issues in the APIs also, right? Or maybe there might be some issues in sending data, right? So suppose the user is not getting the data in, one improvement in our whole app that I can think of is how we send data. So the response are sometimes sent like this, right? Sometimes we send it like this. Sometimes we send it like this, right? Sometimes we send it like this, .json. So we need to keep our responses standard, right? So always keep your responses standard, make a contract and try to follow the same. Okay, in this video has become very long, so I am not doing it in this video, right? I plan to do this in this video, but what I am trying to say, all the response that we send, they should be in a proper format. They should be in a proper structure, right? Always send the response in a JSON format or in any format that you wish to, but they should be standard. Why these response should be standard is because, when the front end will call these APIs, they should have a standard response of handling these APIs, right? So that is the reason. Okay, they should know how to read the errors. The front end should know how to get the data, right? So always whenever I'm sending the data back, if I create an object and attach my data to this data, right? This is a standard way of sending data, right? Generally you create an object, you attach the data over here, and you also attach a message if you want to, right? If you want to, you attach a message also, right? This is a standard way of sending the response back. Okay, so maybe while we will be building UI, we will come back to our backend code and we will modify the request response if we really need to accordingly. Because see, right now we are just building these APIs, not thinking about the UI. But sometimes what happens is we might get some request from the front end team that, okay, your APIs, you have to change a little, you have to tweak these APIs a little. Then if we find a need while building the UI, we'll just come back over here and we will just update these APIs. Okay, so that's all in this video. This is what I wanted to say. We have learned a lot of things in Express. We have learned a lot of things in Mongoose. I've shown you how to write the production level API code, how to handle errors, how to make your API safe. We have learned a lot of things in this thing, right? In this whole, series of episodes, and I'm super happy with all of it. Hope you would have fallen in love with Node.js, fallen in love with Express, fallen in love with Mongo, and you would have also become familiar with all this code. I would request you to please finish the code. Please finish all the things what I have written. You also do it on your own and push all the code to GitHub, maintain your repositories, right? This was all that I need to make in the APIs for now. Right? For now, I am happy with these APIs. Now, from the next episode, we will start building the UI and then we will see all of these things working in the UI, and that will be super, 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 super amazing. Okay. Hope you are enjoying this series. If you are enjoying and if you are loving watching these videos, please give me a shout out on social media, on your LinkedIn, on Twitter, or on any other social media platform that you use. Don't forget to tag me up. I would love to read your post over there, right? Please, I request you to join the Discord server. When you will join the Discord server of Namaste Node.js, help other people over there. There is a discussion forum also, right? So post your questions over there if you have any questions. Ask answers from other users and help other people in the community. Please help each other, because that's how community grow. Right? And that's how you will be able to learn a lot. Because see, you might be getting some errors that other people are not getting, and some other people are getting the errors that you are not getting. So there is an opportunity from their errors to learn. So always get and help other people, because I personally have learned a lot of coding just by helping my juniors, just by helping my peers, and even sometimes helping my seniors also. Okay, so help other developers, read other people's code, and that will make your code writing ability even stronger and stronger. That's all in this episode, my dear friends. Right? We have built a lot of APIs. We will build the UI in the next episode. Bye-bye for now, and see you very soon. And thank you so much for watching once again, and wish you the very best in your career ahead. Bye-bye.